All right. Mic check. I'm good. So I'm Ceron. Ceron. CWB Association Welding podcast. Podcast. Today we have a really cool guest. Welding podcast.
The show is about to begin.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the CWB Association podcast. My name is Max Ceron, and as always, scouring the nation, North America, South America, and now we've extended into Europe to find the best stories we can find. This one came across my plate very interestingly through a number of different directions, and I was very surprised when I heard he was going to be on the show so quickly. Made me very happy. Today we have Dirk Ahrendt. Ahrendt. I'm trying to say it right, Dirk.
No, that's fine.
So, Dirk, you're coming to us from Germany. How are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. It's actually the summer. I always prefer summertime, before winter. And I'm doing pretty good. Yes, thank you.
So, what's the time difference right now? I am sitting at 2 p.m. here in my house, 2:08 or 14:08. What time are you?
10 p.m. It's right in almost night.
Okay, so we're about 8 hours difference. So hopefully
Yes.
I'm not keeping you up too late here. You tired?
No, I'm fine. Actually, I'm pretty excited about it.
Good. So Dirk, let's start at the beginning. Just so people, if they don't know who you are or haven't heard your name, you go by the Metalist, right? On your social media and all the stuff that you have is, I think your Instagram is made by the Metalist or the Metalist, right?
Yes.
So let's start there. Why Metalist? What does it mean?
That's actually a longer story because I'm trying to look a name up for my social media channels, and I wouldn't go with a welder because I'm actually like a welding specialist. And as more I learned about welding, as less I would call myself a specialist because welding is so a huge trade. And that's why I said I'm really good to like the whole trade, to produce stuff and so with out of metal because welding is just a part of it. That's why I called it Metalist. And maybe I would say, that television series, The Mentalist. He's pretty good with his brain and so. And then I thought, okay, I'm pretty good with metal, and that's why I called it, or I called my channels The Metalist.
So kind of like the metal genius.
Yeah, something like that. I don't want to sound arrogant or so, but I would say I'm pretty good with metal.
Pretty good with metal. So your history, because I want to get into a little bit about Germany as well in terms of the trades. I have some questions, but in your youth, did you know you were going to go into any type of metal trades? As a young boy in Germany, did you work? I guess let's start at the beginning. Did you grow up in a large center or a small town? What was your background inside of Germany?
I grew up, or I was born in Freiburg. That's really close to Switzerland and France. That's right in the corner in the Black Forest area. And my grandfather actually had like a metal work company that did like, safes and gates and stairs and so. And I was growing up there like a young boy, and I always was playing in the warehouse and in the factory. And but my grandfather actually died pretty early, and after that, the factory they sold it actually. My parents and my aunt, because there was not really into metal work or to be in charge for a factory and so, or for a company, and that's why they actually sold it. And but since then, or since I'm a young boy, I always knew what I wanted to do, and then I start after school straight away with my education as a metal worker.
So in Germany, every country has a different system. I'm from Chile. In Chile, in grade 10, which we call Segunda Media, we are allowed to start choosing either university or trades.
Yes.
We can pick. So in Germany, what is the system for a young person like yourself that wants to get into metalwork? Is there programs to support you at a young age, or how did that path go?
It's you also can choose, after I think the 10th grade, you can choose, or now it's the 9th grades also, if you want to go like do a trade, or you want to go to university and study for another couple years, or no, I think it's college and then it's university, I think. And but many people, or like the last couple of years, many people choose to go to university, and not so many people choose the trades. And I think we have the same problem like all over the world. And I actually wanted to go straight away to the trades because I wasn't really interested in do something else. And I always have to do that, or that passion to work with metal. And that's actually why I choose the trade. And then if you're going to choose a trade, you actually have to find a company where you do your educations,
Hmm.
and the education for a trade is usually 3 till 3.5 years, and
Yeah.
then you like a skilled trade worker.
And you called yourself a welding specialist. Is that a title from your schooling, or is that a different type of worker or trade than, say, a welder?
It's actually the IWS. Um, it's I did my educations. That's just like you learn the whole part from metalworking, from building stairs, building handrails, what you have to do, or how to read drawings. And it's like that you in 1 year you have to go 3 months to school, and the rest of the year you are working in the factory like a regular worker. And
So it's like an apprenticeship program. Yeah.
yeah, apprenticeship program, yeah.
Yeah.
And after that you can choose if you want to go, like we have this master program, or Meister it called, for another year. That's what I did also, like 2 or 3 years later. And then after that education, I did like a welding specialist education, just to supervise welder, or you know. And in between, I did a lot of other things, but that's actually my main focus.
Hmm. So when you talk about your education in the metal trades, you have 2 years of high school. Sounds like 3 or 3.5 years of the apprenticeship, plus then the welding specialist program. So how long did you invest studying before you were like, okay, now I can start building my career?
Actually, you just need that 3.5 years. That's the
Yeah.
only thing. And then you are like a basic trade worker. And then you have like a title where you can go to companies and say, here, I'm a trade metal worker, or trade carpenter, or trade
Hmm.
woodworker also. And after that, you can choose if you want to go a step higher and then do like a specialist program, or welding specialist program, or like a master degree where you can, because in Germany, if you want to start a company by your own, you have to have a master degree, or a Meister called. And
Hmm.
without that, you actually not allowed to do like higher class works, like stairs, or you need that
For
title to
structural or
exactly,
for
yeah,
pressure vessels. So,
yeah.
how long is the specialist course for welding that you took?
Uh, that was about 4 months, I think.
Okay. So I'm just writing this down because it's very interesting. Like around the world, everywhere is different. And I've done quite a bit of international work. And when I'm working internationally, I tend to run into other specialists or professionals from other countries that are the top of their game. They're very good in what they do. And I always run into Germans, I run into French, I run into Australians, I run into people from Asia, India, South Asia, and there's lots of Canadians as well. And every country that I see represented in these projects that I work on come from countries where they have strong apprenticeship programs, where you have to study for a while before you can even begin to work. And right now I'm doing many projects with the United States and North America and here, and even in Canada we have apprenticeship program, but it's not, you don't have to do it. You can just go become a welder at 17 years old with no school. But there's a big argument now: is how important is it to have apprenticeship? Do you have to have it? Is it good for the economy? Is it good for the trade? And from your point of view in Germany, with the systems you have where it's fairly controlled, in Canada we're like 50-50. Some are controlled, some not. I did apprenticeship, but some people choose not to. Do you feel like it's valuable to have that schooling, that structure?
If I would in charge people, I would prefer to have people who have like learned or have an apprenticeship in a metalworking trade. Sometimes you have like I don't know the word. For sheet metal work or for heavy steel,
Hmm.
iron workers or so. And I would prefer people to have already the trade. And yeah, that's would prefer that, and I think it's
Yeah.
actually a pretty good way. But you know, at this time, many people would like to have the shortcut and do straight away do the welding license and go for just welding. That's fine. For some people,
Hmm.
if they do like a simple job, to weld something. But if it's really getting into the details with, you have to know what you're doing because the weld is always pulling into materials and so, I would to have or prefer to have experienced people.
Yeah. Now, you know, uh, I guess throughout this training, what was it that you wanted to do? What was the end division of what you saw yourself doing as a job? Did you want to work in the heavy industry? Did you want to work in a manufacturing? Did you want to start your own business? What did you see was the goal for you?
In the early days, I actually wanted to start my own business. That's why, because I did or choose the master program like 3 or 4 years after my apprentice as a metalworker.
Hmm.
And later on, because you have more things what you have to look for it, I actually thought about, if you have a really nice job, like a safe job, that's also fine. And that's where I stick, or not stick at the moment, but that's where I'm quite happy at the moment.
And what is it that you do now?
Actually, I have a pretty cool job. I'm a welding supervisor and coordinator for a factory or company. They do roller coaster.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Now,
That's
how do we know if I see a roller coaster somewhere in the world, it's yours? Because I've seen some pretty bad welds out there.
I know that. And, in the early days, like, I don't know, 20, 25 years ago, there was a really, sometimes you get like old cars or old trains, for
Yeah.
repair. And that's actually not the same standard like you have here, because the standard is going up like from year to year, and it's really high,
Hmm.
especially if you, if you produce for America, you have to do or you have to take a look for other standards, like if you send something to China or Germany or Europe. And yeah, but since I'm in charge, everything will be 100% fine.
Of course, of course. Now, people might be listening and wondering, we found this wonderful person from Germany, Dirk, and and you have so much great information. But first of all, people are going to say, how do you speak such good English? Where did you learn such
I'm
good English?
in this factory or in these companies where I did my education or my apprenticeship. They actually work in England. They was like a cladding company or factory, and they did like skyscrapers most of the time in London or in Manchester. And I went up there a couple times, or maybe for a year or 1.5 years. And then I have like family members in Canada. I have two uncles. One is living in Toronto and one is living in Montreal. And I visit them a lot of times. And I also did work and travel in Canada in 2010, and I was working as a welder up there.
I was going to bring that up because before the show started, I was asking you about it, and you said, "Oh, you know Canada well." And what did I write down here? That you've been to Canada 13 times.
Yes, and in 2 weeks, middle of August, I will be there again.
No, that's amazing. So have you been to the United States a few times as well?
Yes, drove there a couple times, but yeah, most of time in Canada.
So, it sounds like you have an awesome job building roller coasters. I love that, in Germany. But as are you ever attracted to Canada? Do you think about it? Do you follow what's happening in Canada in our industry?
Yes, because I also listen to your podcast like every time, or to the other welding podcast. And I'm into like metalwork and welding. That's my life, you know. That's
Hmm.
where I actually do nothing else, and I never could imagine that I will do something else, you know. Maybe a little bit. I always have to dream to work a little bit less, you know, but always in metalwork or in the trade. And I was working, like I said, 2010 as a welder, and actually that's the first time I really went to, you know, actually know what I'm doing up there, because you know, like welding is always apart from metal work, you know, because if you know, like a regular welder, it's like 70% prep your stuff and 30%
Hmm.
is like welding. And in this job it was like 8 hours a day almost just welding, you know. People gave me
Just
stuff and
welding.
I was welding all the time. And that's actually the start where I really was going into welding. And yeah, and then actually, because I went 2010 up there because I wanted to move to Canada, but you know, I was over there I think about 3 months, and then my old boss called me. He would have like a nice new position for me, like a construction supervisor in Ireland, I think. And then I made a decision to go back to Germany. The thing was, if I would have maybe a better job, I don't want to say it was bad also, you know, or maybe met some other people also, I probably would stay in Canada and would stay there, as you know.
So
And
it just wasn't the right job at the right time.
yeah, it was like, you know, maybe it could turn out different, or maybe, you know, but you know,
That's
that
life.
things
Yeah.
happen, you know.
Yeah.
That's life. And but me and my wife always have the dream that we will buy a farm somewhere in Canada one day, and we'll
Oh.
move up there. And
Well, but you should buy a farm where I live. Lots of cheap farmland out here.
yeah, we've been there actually in around Calgary. We went to the to Stampede, I think twice.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were a lot of farms up there, and also for sale, I think, some
For
of
good
them.
prices. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's because somewhere in the nowhere, in the no man's land.
That's
And
exactly where I live. Yeah.
yeah, but I, you know, because Germany, they have a lot of popular, no, a lot of people
Population.
live here in Germany,
Yeah.
populations, and I think it's almost 3 times like Canada, and Canada got the size 20 times or 27 times bigger like Germany. That means everything is really tight in here, you know. And in Canada, you have this nice no man's land, I would call,
Lots of
and
space.
you
Yeah.
know, then you really can come down, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting. You know, I've spoken to uh, when I was working as a supervisor for a manufacturing shop, we had a bunch of guys come in from China, Western China, so to almost Russia, and they said that where they lived, it was so overpopulated. That people were, 15, 20 people to a house, and it was very tough. And then they got to Canada, and they were working in the city with us, but their dream was to go to one of the small towns, population 200 people, and start working out there. And a few of them did it. And I said, "Why do you want to go live? No, like nobody's around." And they said, "You don't understand. We have never experienced that. You look and there's nothing, and you're the
Yes.
only person, and you can own such a big piece of land for so cheap." It was their dream. And I thought about that. And I thought it must be so different. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And I also work in China also for a couple months.
Hmm.
And the funny thing is, or the fun fact, we actually, because we can't find trade welding people, you know, or welders. We
Hmm.
have also, I think, like 30 welders from Vietnam. They're working for us here in Germany
Yeah,
because
we've brought
we can't find.
It's the same everywhere in the world, man. There's just not enough people. Everyone for the last 20 years told all their children to go to university. And
Yes,
now we are screwed because
exactly.
we need the people to build the roads and the buildings and maintenance and everything, right?
Yes, yes. That's actually, you know, many times I thought like, or the couple years, or in the last couple years, I thought now I should actually start my own business, because you would make so much money at the moment, you know. If you settle it, you know, really nice and get you organized, then you would have like, you know, I would say you could make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of work out there right now and not
Yes.
enough people to do it, So in your family, your grandfather was a factory owner, a welder, and then you picked it up. because everyone pushes towards university for so many years now, what did your family think about your choice to say, you know what, I want to go with the trades, I want to become a welding specialist, this is what I want to do? You know, your mom and dad or your family, did they were okay, that's good? Or was there an idea that no, 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 you could do better?
No, no, they've been like, actually, my mom is pretty proud of myself because
Hmm.
I did like the same like my grandfather, and I'm really passionate about it. And then I think that's all what you need. And my father also, they really enjoyed what I'm doing. And now you they can see me like once a month or in YouTube to see what
Yeah.
I'm building. And yeah, they really enjoyed what I'm doing, and yeah, they yeah.
So that's awesome. So let's take a break right now to go for our commercials and our sponsors, advertisers here for the show. And when we get back from the break, I want to talk to you about all these projects and how we got there. Because some of these are interesting. You got a lot of different things on the go, and some of them are kind of, different. And I want to see how you got there. So how's that sound, Dirk?
Perfect.
All right, so everyone, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after our commercial break here with Dirk Ahrendt and from Germany, the Metalist, and he will tell us all about all the amazing stuff he's got on the go right now. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
The CWB Association is new and improved and focused on you. We offer a free membership with lots of benefits to anyone interested in joining an association that is passionate about welding. We are committed to educating, informing, and connecting our workforce. Gain access to your free digital publication of the Weld magazine, free online training, conferences, and lots of giveaways. Reach out to your local CWB Association chapter today to connect with other welding professionals and share welding as a trade in your community. Build your career, stay informed, and support the Canadian welding industry. Join today and learn more at cwbassociation.org.
And we are back here at the CWB Association podcast. My name is Max Ceron, and we have here Dirk Ahrendt coming to us from Germany. And he's the Metalist online. He's on YouTube. He's on Instagram. I think he's everywhere. His website is www.themetalist.de. You can find them, DE for Deutschland, and for the people that are looking for him. So you love Canada, you live in Germany, you build roller coasters. This sounds pretty cool. You've worked in China, you worked in Ireland, you worked in England. It sounds like you've had a very fun career so far, Dirk.
Oh yes, I'm really enjoyed it, and actually you say you don't have to or don't look back, but actually I really enjoyed to look back and watch some old pictures, and what we're building up there. I did many more things, I was working in Spain also, and because if there was something, in the fair, in the company, on the old company, oh, we have to go there, and I said, all right, let's go. I will be the first guy on the car or on the plane, and
Mhm.
just to I was looking for the adventure a little bit. And I also was like the supervisor for the Titanic Museum for the 100th anniversary in Belfast, where they actually built the Titanic. And yeah, I'm really proud of my past work, what I did. And
Now, how old are you,
yeah,
Dirk?
I'm 37.
Oh, so you're young. You've been busy.
Oh yes, I'm actually had about 260 flights because I was flying to Ireland or to England about every Monday. I was flying from Basel, that's right in the corner, from France and Switzerland and Germany,
Mm.
to London about every Monday, and then I was Friday I was flying back. And if you go in the morning in the train and you always see the same people, it was the same in the airplane, you always see the same people, and then you see like, oh, how you doing, and so on, and it's like for 1 year, it's so amazing, and you can't actually imagine that. And I'm worked a lot. I did like
Mhm.
80 hours a week or almost sometimes 90 hours a week because but thing is I really enjoyed it, and then it was for me okay. And then yeah, it's like I said, I'm really passionate for my job.
Well, it's interesting you talk about travel. I've had the craziest run-ins too. Like I worked in Ghana a couple years, and then I was in Edmonton last year, and I ran into people that I trained in Ghana in Edmonton 6 years later.
Oh my
Like,
god.
what are the odds of running into
Mhm.
people? But the people that travel for work, travel for work, and you end up sometimes in the same places or on the same flights. And I go to hotels now in other cities, and they'll be like, "Oh, hi," they remember me. It's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" But then you rack up a lot of kilometers, right?
Oh yeah, but that's such a nice experience to meet some people where you actually never thought about it, and then you will meet them, like 2,000-3,000 kilometers far away.
Yeah,
It's so nice, and
it is nice. Yeah. So
to have this experience, that's
yeah. Now some of the work that I see that you do online on your YouTube channel, and you know, it's very artistic, right? So there's a lot of art to your eye, to the things that you build. But before we get into that, where does the artistic side of you come from? Were you always artistic as a young person? Was it an interest of yours growing up?
I would actually say no. I was not a bad painter, I would say, or drawer. That's actually
Hmm.
I was kind of good, but not really like special. And but especially if you go into welding art, sometimes I even can't imagine what I'm actually building, because most of the time the thing it's you know it will work out if you start, and then you find out, okay, it works like that, or that looks better like I thought it will look, or in
Hmm.
between, most of the time you think, okay, I will throw it away because it doesn't look at all like I wanted to build. And I think everybody can do it, if you have enough time. That's
Yeah.
some of the builds turn out like pretty long, but
Well, and that's
um,
the thing, like I'm not very artistic, but when I try to do something artistic, if I just keep trying long enough, it'll happen. But I think that people that have artistic talent, it's probably a faster process.
yes.
They probably already know what they want to make, and I'm just like, I'm just trying. But you know, when you first started getting into trying to make your own things, what were the first projects that you tried to do?
I That's also a longer story, because I was always working beside my job, because I always have my little workshop. And
Hmm.
one day I imagined, because I had a little bit problem with a customer, and I actually lost a little bit money. And then I always was watching that YouTube videos, and then one day I said, you know what, I will try that. What they can build, I can build also. And
Hmm.
that doesn't look so hard, or to build that or to film it. And then I actually was just starting. The first video I was like, did a one shot video for half an hour. That was pretty boring. And then from video to video, I was getting better. And in the beginning, especially, like, every video was a big step in the direction. And I think now, from video to video, you'll find your own style.
Hmm.
And I try to build, like it is in with social media. You think, that will be go viral. This video will, that's so nice, and nobody will see it, or nobody is interested. And then some videos, because especially the first video, what I did, I did some welding table clamps. That's also, I filmed it pretty boring with long. The I was filming also like in 2 shots or 3 shots, and
Hmm.
then I thought, okay, I have to do another one. I can't actually remember what is my second video. And I did, like, in the first year, I started a YouTube channel in 2019, and I did about 5 videos. And then after 1 year, I was said to myself, because nobody was interested in the videos. And then I remember like it was yesterday. From one of another moment, I was getting like a push on the phone that,
Notifications, yeah.
yeah, that, or something is going on. I get some comments or so. And I was looking up and said, "Oh my God, my first video got 50,000 views." And then I was going to my wife and say, "Yeah, here, take a look, 50,000
Yeah.
views and so." And then I think 2 or 3 days later, I had about 800,000 clicks on this video. And I was so, okay, now I'm all in, I'm hooked now. I have to do more videos. And then I was starting like my social media career. And then I was really getting into, maybe get a little bit, or got a better camera, or better
Hmm.
to invest a little bit more in that. And I also, what I did before, because I had a bigger workshop before, and then I turned into a smaller workshop because you have this rent from the workshop every month, and that was a little bit, hurry, because you have to work for that, and I don't want it to work that much. And that's, I said, okay, I will downgrade a little bit and get a smaller workshop and try to get smaller jobs, or even get a little bit money with YouTube. And this turned out pretty good, actually.
So because I've heard people, friends of mine who got very famous on YouTube in the beginning, and now they say that YouTube makes no money. How's your experience been using the YouTube platform?
At the beginning, it was like from month to month, it turned out better and better. But especially in the last, or everybody told me, oh, it was because of the pandemic, nobody had to do something. But especially in the last year, I really saw that the views was going down, because actually I haven't changed my style of the videos, but the views went down a little bit. But you actually get that Revelin, I think for 1,000 clicks you will get €1 or $1, and this was going up in the same time. Maybe at the moment you get like, for 1,000 clicks you get like $2 or so. That's you get less views, but you got a little bit more money out of it.
Okay. And then how did you pick the content? How did you decide what I'm going to film for each video? Did you have a list of projects you wanted to do? Or did you just decide, once a month, this is what I wanted to do? Because you do all sorts of different stuff. You build tools, you talk about how to do some stuff about, there's lots of different things that you talk about in your videos. How do you decide?
It's at the beginning I had like a list what I wanted to build, but then it starts to, okay, I wanted to do that project, but for this I need that tool. Okay, I have to at first build that tool, and then I changed my mind with the list which project is coming at first. Or there's something going on, and then I said, all right, you know what, I would like to build that now, because I'm a little bit scared that everybody or somebody else will build it. And at the moment I'm almost like planned for 2 or 3 months, and after that, sometimes things changing, or I have a really nice idea what I really would like to get, like, do it now, because I'm so excited about that. And for me, actually, I don't have a book or so. I have a list, or I have a smart like book where I did some drawings what I wanted to build. But actually this book put me a little bit under pressure, because I have so many projects in it, and I actually don't have time to build everything. It would be nice to do it like a weekly thing, but for this there's not enough money on YouTube, or at the moment, to do it like a weekly video clip, or maybe every second week. And also I bought a house 2 years ago, and it's a 50 years old house, and this is also
part of your life now.
Yeah, it's this house is turning me also under pressure. And especially in the last year, I did some breaks with 2 or 3 months sometimes, because I didn't have any time to do a project. And also like my job, like I'm
Well, I was gonna say, you still have a job. You have to get up and go to work every day.
Yeah, it's like a 40 hours job, but like it is, if you work 50 hours, sometimes, or you have a little bit pressure in your job, or something is not going well, you have to be there. You don't have to. We also have shift works, but in my position, it's like sometimes you have to be there, and if it's Saturday, it's Saturday. Or if you come in the nighttime, you have to take a look in the nighttime. That's why, and that's for me also. YouTube at the moment, social media is actually a hobby at the moment, or I enjoy it to get like from work a little bit far away, and but my main thing is actually my main job.
Yeah, and then what about the people around you? Your wife. What does she think about all this work and all these projects? Does she help? Is she involved, or does she say, Dirk, stop, sit on the couch, watch TV with me, let's relax and do nothing?
She's not so into it like everybody thinks. She's she's supporting, but it's not like that she get really excited about, oh yeah, can't wait to see if it's finished or so. And but that's she's interested in horseback riding. She got a horse. She's really interested in that. Sometimes I have to build something for the stable or stable. No,
Yeah, stable. Yeah.
the stable. Or to I don't know for her, and then she's quite happy about it. But she's not really into the projects, and but she know that I really enjoy it, and then she just gives me the time for that.
And does she ever try to tell you to slow down?
She actually no. She always think I'm crazy because I imagine like it was yesterday. I came up with that hammer idea, that fist hammer idea, and she was like, "Okay, just do it," And I was really excited on the couch and said, "Yeah." And after that, I will build a karate axe, and and she was like, "Oh my god, just build it," But yeah, that two builds was pretty special because she thought I was going crazy because I was so excited about it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about those. The first one is the hammer, the fist hammer.
Yes.
That's to tell you the truth, I don't know what I think about it. I want one. I'll very likely buy one and try it out and play with it. But it's like I had a friend give me a hammer 10 years ago. They're a blacksmith. They made this beautiful hammer for me. I can't use it. I feel too bad. I don't want to scratch it or wreck it or because it's like a decoration. It's so nice. And I look at your fist hammer and I think to myself, am I using this for industrial applications or is this to put on my wall? So when you designed the hammer, what was your intention?
I actually thought I have to do some notification for everybody who is watching my videos and said, yeah, that's the guy with the fist hammer, because I would like to use it all the time. And especially if you take a look for my tools, I try to use them all the time. That's a notification that the people say, right, that's that guy, to get realized.
Yeah. So it's like a statement to the, old Dirk, he's the guy with the fist hammer. Right.
Yes.
Right. And at what point, okay, wait, let's go back. When you made the first one, did you take a block, machine it or grind it, or did you cast it? What type of materials? Is it hardened? Is this tell me about the construction and the design process.
The basic from the hammer is actually a 1 kilogram hammer. And I just welded on it. I just have it beside myself, just to show it. And I just start to welding on it, try to make at first the 4 fingers. And, like I said before, in between the build, I was like, oh my God, I just will throw it away. Or what a waste of time because it doesn't look at all, especially if you watch the video, it's like, okay, he's welding up there and it looks like a big ugly weld, who's put somebody up there. And but 25 hours later, it turned out to really nice hammer. And especially because it's not like the whole fist, because I have to make it a little bit shorter. But because if you take a look for the hand, I have to take off the hand ball on the bottom, to make it a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
To that it's not getting too heavy because the hammer now got 2 kilograms. And that's for a regular hammer to work with it actually quite too heavy.
That's like a sledgehammer.
Yeah, it's actually like a sledgehammer. And but now, since I'm used it so many times, it's actually I don't grab to the regular hammer. I just grab to the fist hammer. And that's and it turned out way better, like I thought.
Is it just a standard, like steel? What's the construction? What's the material? Or is it top secret?
No. The first hammer that I welded was like a regular steel hammer or hardened steel. And I just welded on it and it lost a little bit of the hardness. You can see the surface. It's, it's not that hard like on the beginning.
Yeah.
And now the hammer that you actually can buy, or you can buy it now. they actually cast, and after that they're hardened, and then they have like a coating with nickel or copper.
Well, that's what
Or
I was
gold.
looking at. Yeah, there's a copper, gold, nickel, and a chromium, or like a chromatic nickel.
Genau, that's black. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it's good that they're hardened, because I was thinking about how much of a bounce that would have. 1.5 kilogram hammer on a short handle, it will bounce back at you very badly unless it's hardened, and normal steel has got a lot of bounce to it. I'd imagine it still has a pretty good kick to it though when you swing it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's at the beginning, I wasn't a big fan from casting or from
Hmm.
cast iron because I was like, okay, because the details and so. But the thing is, if you take a look for the big sledgehammers where you can buy like the cheap ones, they're all casted. Like I
Hmm.
think 90% from the sledgehammers they're casted, and I have noticed this. And then because I will get to the story later on. But then I thought, okay, that's actually a pretty nice material. It's cast iron because
Mhm.
it's good. You can hit it. It's solid. It's for
It's
it's getting in
durable.
touch
Yeah.
with heat. It's durable and so. And then I thought, okay, cast iron is actually not that bad like I thought. That's I haven't noticed that before, but now I'm way.
Yeah. So, now you made the first one, you have the design of what you think it looks like. Then, you get the idea, and I know we're skipping some steps. We'll come back to them, but when you get the idea to mass produce these, you reach out to company that can cast the hammer for you. Did you just use the original as the mold, or did they create like a 3D drawing for you that you approve and say, okay, yeah, this will work? What was the process from your garage to production?
I actually built by the hammer. I put the first mold we actually produced with the original one, but then it turned out because I had a lot of undercuts and we can't mold or can't put them in the mold to cast it. And then I actually built another one just to where I take off
For the mold.
the undercuts where we can produce the better mold, because the first mold was actually produced and then it was it cracked a little bit, or the cast iron pieces, they came out really bad, and that's why we said, okay, we have to do another one. And
Okay.
then I actually built another one. But for the X, it's the original car or cast mold
Yeah.
from the original one.
And then the nickel plated, copper, are these all the same use? Am I buying a nickel plated hammer for the same industrial use as the standard hardened one, or do I have to worry about heat or the coating coming off? No.
No, the coating will come off, if you hit it a lot, but it's not will split away like zinc or so. The
Mhm.
coat is pretty soft, like nickel coating, it's pretty soft. You don't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
There will be, especially on the bottom plate, there will be the nickel will come off, but the whole thing, it's like pretty solid. And even now, because I have one here and I use it quite a lot because I wanted to try it, actually way harder like the original one what I built it. It's a real hammer, it's I
Mhm.
think 99% from the people will buy it like a gift also for Christmas. But there will be 1% who will just take it every day to use,
And
and
use
that's
it.
how we designed it.
Yeah. And how has the support been from the online community, for these projects, for you?
That's especially with the hammer and with the X, um, because both of the videos went viral, and I was like try to answer all the comments, and then I answered about 100, and then I take a look for the next comments, and there was another 2,000 already up there, and then I said, okay, I can't answer all of them. And then my post box was like filled with acquires. Can we buy it? Where I can buy it? Can you build me one? And then I actually start to build some of them, but I need, if I build it, like weld it off and grind it, and so I need about 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours for one hammer or for one X. That's almost the same. And
Yeah.
then
And that's
you
too
have to
expensive.
spend,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I will get, I sold a couple hammers, and if I build it myself, I take like 1,500 euros. And especially on the end, I was going up with the price because I don't want to build them, because I have to spend a lot of time. The money is also nice, but I don't want to spend a lot of time. And then actually a friend of mine called me because he saw the Cobra video, because I built that Cobra also, and he was asking, "Oh my god, I just saw the Cobra. Can you sell it to me?" And then I said, "Ah, yeah, that's also 20 hours," and then a half an hour later he called me back and I said, "I saw the hammer. Sell me the hammer. Sell it to me." I said, "Oh, not the hammer again, because I have a list with another 5 people, and
Yeah.
and then he said, "Okay, do you have so many acquires for the hammer?" And I said, "Yeah, because please not the hammer. Do something else, but not order the hammer." And then he said, "Oh, he will call me back." Half an hour later, he called me back. "All right, I have some connections for you. We do that together, and you into it, and then you know,
We mass
yeah,
produced them. Yeah.
yeah, like he took a look, or he thought about that will be like a half a year, and the whole thing to produce it, to finish everything, to pretty get it to the market like it is now, it took us 1.5 years.
Well,
And
and the videos, like the videos on your website, they're very well produced.
yeah,
Nice polished videos. They look really good and professional. Was your friend in charge of all that too, or did you do that?
thanks for the videos. And yes, he actually put a lot of effort in it, and also he put a lot of money in it. And
Hmm.
I thought, or I think he thought, it will be not so expensive to bring something on the market like that. But now we know it better, and yeah. But I'm pretty excited about it, because at the beginning I thought, okay, many people ask me if I want to do it, like mass produce it, and I was always like, oh my god, and how, and
Hmm.
because it's really special. And but I had these people who was asking me till now, every time I bring it in my videos, I always get like a couple questions. Oh, where I can buy this hammer? Can you build me this hammer? And then I'm actually never post the hammer again, because I don't want to have these questions, can I buy it? That's why I used it in my videos, but I never posted on social media, on TikTok or so, because I did it once on TikTok, and I think it will also go viral with 6.5 million views. And then the comments. I think this video got almost 10,000 comments, and I think every second was, "Where can I buy this hammer?" And then I was like, "Okay, I never will show that hammer again." But now I have the chance to say, "All right, you see, you can buy that hammer, not the
Go to the
original one.
website. Yeah.
It's cast, it's a little bit less detail like the original one, but you're able to buy it." And like I said, many people ask me, "I want to buy it for my father, or for my grandfather, or for my teacher also," and like a gift. And that's what I think. In the end, most of the time they will buy it, or they will sell it like a gift.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at your YouTube, and you have 5.3 million on the axe, and 3.2 million on the build of the Iron Fist, and that's amazing when you're talking about millions of views, right? And I don't even think I have 1,000 friends on Instagram yet. Like, nobody likes me, but you got so popular.
That's I would say, because actually that's not my okay. That's my most popular videos from the views. But I think my best performing video is actually the build from my welding table. And I also start, because that was also a learning for myself. I built this video, or I built this welding table, and everybody was asking me for drawings, and said, "Ah, come on, you don't want to buy a drawing from a table, or from a welding table," because
Hmm.
everybody, at these days, you can buy pretty cheaper, like
Hmm.
a regular basic welding table. And 1 year later, I put up the drawing. I was getting into Fusion 360 and was drawing in 3D and so. And it took me about, I don't know, 50 hours or so, because I was new into that.
Yeah.
And then I was putting the drawings online, and I think I sold, I don't know, till now, the drawing, I have no idea, 500 or 600 times. I couldn't believe it. And that was
Just for a
also learning
table.
from. just for a drawing for my table. And now my videos actually almost or always like designed that everybody can rebuild it. And I try to get the people, they see the videos and say, all right, I want that, they can buy the drawings, and then I can have like the video to show how to build it, and they have the drawing with all the measurements. And that's, like I said, it's also learning what I actually on the beginning couldn't understand, because you have the video, you can watch everything what's in there, why you need a drawing. But things turning out, and yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And now that you have this manufacturing for the hammer, which came first, the hammer or the axe? The hammer.
The hammer came first. Even I uploaded the axe at first, because the hammer was almost finished, and then I actually already start the build from the axe. But actually, in the original, the hammer was first, and then came the axe. Even I uploaded it, the video in other ways. Oh.
So with the axe, what are some of the issues? Because there's different issues with the cutting tool as opposed to a bludgeoning tool, right? So for a hammer, it has to not bounce, it has to have good weight, it has to have a nice flat hitting surface so that you don't mark materials, right? With an axe, you have to have an edge that's sharpenable, and you have to have the right angle so that it splits the wood and doesn't get stuck. There's a few variables there. What was the design of the axe like?
The axe was actually, it's really hard. I couldn't imagine in my head, but then I was starting building it, and in between I said, oh my God, but even the small fingers, you don't want to see that this will be a small finger, but then I start to grave it and make details and so, and the angle from the axe, I wasn't actually, doesn't matter for me, just it have to split wood, and it have to look like a hand, and that was my just the only goal to get like a hand where you can split wood.
Yeah.
And and I actually did a big mistake in the video, because I haven't saw it somewhere else, but that was actually wrong, because I did regular steel, or that's what I always did, always do. I use regular steel because it's way easier to grave everything and mill everything and grind everything. And I did a hardened edge with an old rod with, I think, what's the name from the
like wrought iron?
Yeah, but I did a mistake in that video, and I think till now maybe 2 people told me that already, but I realized that a week after I uploaded the video. But things happened, and I can't turn it back. But now I know it better. And
yeah, you learned.
Yeah.
And did you do the same process with the axe in terms of, when your friend said, I want the hammer, let's mass produce this, let's figure it out. Did you do the axe at the same time? Like, let's do it all together,
Yeah, he was really into the hammer, and I said, okay, I think because of the views, the axe is a little bit more interesting for the people. And then we decided, like, in the process from the hammer was already going on. And then we decided, all right, you know what, we do the axe also, because now we know it where we have to go, or it's maybe a little bit easier to produce. And the axe was coming a little bit later, but in the process from the hammer.
Yeah. And how do you sell these now? I was on your website, I was looking around, and there's it looks like some things are available, some are not, some are now, some are later. How's this store working out?
We like a month ago, we started that Kickstarter campaign. That was actually not my idea, but I heard a lot from Kickstarter, and then I was looking for it. And some people that get like they need 100%, I don't know, 30,000 euros or dollars. And after 2 weeks, they had like $1 million, like founded $1 million
Yeah.
because everybody wants it. And that was actually my hope also, because then we could produce the hammer or the axe way less, or with, because the hammer starts at the moment like 150 euros. And also in the Kickstarter campaign, it also had started with 150 euros. But now we thought, because the interest in the hammer and then the axe was not that big like I thought. But my thoughts about that was that the Kickstarter is a little bit complicated too, because you have to build up a profile, and then you only have to buy with the credit card, and everybody now wants to have like PayPal and just buy it straight away like on Amazon. And then we just say, okay, you know what? It turned out okay, but I thought it will be a little bit more in the end. And then we decided quite quickly that we open up the store straight away. You can sell it now, and it will ship out in end of October, beginning of November, like before Christmas, definitely. Because, like I said, I think many people just will buy it because, like a gift or for a gift.
And do you assemble them yourselves with the handles? Do they come from the factory ready to go, packaged and everything?
The cast part is actually produced in Czechoslovakia. That's just beside Germany. And they also have like a hammer company where they put the, oh, I missed the word, the wooden stick. No.
The handle?
The handle, yes, sorry. Put the handle in it. And they also, in this area, they also have like this package company where they produce the boxes for it. And it was also because of my friend or two friends of mine. They have like also a company, a factory, and they have a lot of connections. And then they figured it out quite quickly. For me, to do it everything by myself, it would be like, even in 5 years, I wouldn't be finished with everything. And, it's way easier if you have friends and people who can help you with the right connections.
That's so true. Like it's something that we're always preaching. You listen to the shows, I'm always saying that networking is the number one ticket to success. You never can do anything alone. We all, it
Yep.
takes a community. You can't build things by yourself. You can't sell things by yourself. And you need to be able to produce and work and collaborate, and because it's easier.
Yep.
You try to do it all yourself, and no one person has all the skill. You have to lean on the people around you.
And I think the other thing is, for me, it's actually not the money is the important thing. For me, it's more important that the people will have the chance to buy a hammer. That's actually my pleasure. That to make that's stupid to say, but to make the people happy to
Yeah.
that they have the chance to buy a hammer, that like that. And I think because I have some really nice projects coming up in this direction. I even built the fist sledgehammer. And I might will go with another project if the other with
secret project.
Not now, but in the future, I'm really getting into it. It's. I think I have to be really happy if the axe and hammer stays into production and people will buy it. And with on the end, we will make the decision that we can produce another project, or to.
You should make little replicas of them that you can put on a pendant.
Yes, that would be nice. Yeah, that's. I thought about like a bottle openers. Or
Yeah. Like the whole brand,
Yeah, even I'm just at the beginning. It's like because I want to do a little bit merch stuff and so, and maybe then if I have, because the YouTube thing is not going that well, that you have like thousands of euros every month. And with the whole package with all together, you can maybe start to work a little bit less and get more into your passion, what I'm actually want to do. And I think it's the same with you. My happy place is always my workshop. Like if I go in workshop by my own, build something what I wanted to do, nobody have to or argument about something. I just do my thing. And that's I don't have a nice car, but I spend a lot of money for tools. That's my pleasure. Like I'm more excited about tools or new welding machines, like on a new car.
Yeah. No tools. Like, I mean, I'm sure all of us are the same. You go into our garages and it's tools on top of tools on top of tools in our little shops. Like my wife sometimes will come into my shop and look around, and she says, "How do you know where everything is?" I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just don't touch anything. It's my."
It's actually quite funny because the people ask me, "Oh, your workshop look always so so clean, in the background and so." But the people don't know because I was filming, I don't know, for 5 days, and every 5 hours I'm cleaning the workshop because it looks so unbelievable messy. You know that you start to work, and then the
You're
tools will lying
moving
around, and
things,
then the cable will start to will lie all over the place. That's why I prefer to do like battery powered machines the last
Mhm.
couple of years. To don't argument with the cable stuff and so. And but I clean like every 5 hours, or sometimes in the shot. I do one shot on the bandsaw, but it took me about, I don't know, 20 seconds, but it took me about 20 minutes to clean up in the background, and that's why sometimes it takes a little bit long time to film it. And
To film,
yeah.
So do you see yourself doing the YouTube videos for a long time, every month, or do you see like which part of the company or which part of the Metalist brand do you want to keep indefinitely? Because it gets harder to keep it all,
Yeah.
as you keep going, and you have to start picking things, I want to devote more time here, or you have to start hiring people to say, okay, you do this or you do this, where do you see it going or evolving?
We actually hired 2 people till now. That's Eva and Florian. That's for the fulfillment, because I'm not able to package all the packages and send it away. I'm just not, it's not possible for me, because otherwise I wouldn't do anything else. And there also was a big help with the website, with the Kickstarter campaign. Most of the work, they're up to them. And for me, it's actually, I don't want to have that much money on a hammer. I just want to have like less work.
Yeah, just
If you
efficient.
get, yeah, if you get older, I don't want to work that many hours anymore, and I just want to calm down a little bit and enjoy a little bit more my life. That's why I said, okay, you know what, we're going with more people, just to get everybody relaxed, and I don't want to get like a burnout or so too, because work
Mhm.
like thousands of hours. And I'm quite happy with that, and I think that's the right decision.
No, I see them on the website here. You say Florian is the mastermind of numbers and data. Is he
Yes.
he does all your finances?
Yes, he's doing the finance, and he does like the plan, where we have to go, or we have to take a look here, and especially with the website, that's also not my world, with the SEO, to bring it that everybody can see it, to share it.
Mhm.
And yeah, we also, with the Kickstarter campaign, we took a look for a lot of influencers, to share the hammers. And I also, on this way, I want to say thank you to everybody to give me a hand and helped out that we made it, because otherwise I have a big reach, but sometimes you need a little bit help from the community, and I'm
Yeah,
really
it's
glad about that.
no, the community's huge. Like, I mean, we have our influencers too. Like I said, I don't even have 1,000, but my influencers have 50,000. Good.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes me happy because it's about everyone has a different role in the community. Everyone does different things. I help with developing plans and running company, but at the end of the day, I can't do everything, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And I always say, if you have somebody on a special trade, you have to go with that
Use
guy,
it, yeah.
because you spend too much time to try to do
Hmm.
something new. Just get a professional on it. And that's what I said also. I just get a pro for that thing, and somebody who get in charge to organize everything. And I just want to do my videos and
and
try.
build stuff.
Yeah, that would be a nice dream, to get up in the morning and then say, okay, today I do that project, and then tomorrow I do that project, and that would be a nice dream, maybe
And
on a farm in Canada
yeah, no, that's a good
somehow.
plan, and I can come visit and we can have fun and It's there's always lots of room out here in the West. And I'm also looking at your and what does Eva do? Eva, she takes care of the administration and coordination. This is the team, right?
Yes, she is like doing the plans, the time plans, the schedules. She's especially in the beginning. She sent all the packages to the influencers to give us a hand,
Mhm.
and she's like yeah.
And how did you know them? How did you know Florian and Eva? Did they apply or were they friends?
They actually came with the two buddies from mine who gave me the hand on the beginning. They
Mhm.
actually, because they was working with both of them in some other projects, and then they said, "All right, but we need them too. They know what they're doing, and we should go with them." And that's how it turned out really well. And till
Awesome.
now, I'm really happy. Like it works out at the moment. It's yeah. I'm looking forward. You know what's coming next.
Next little while. That's awesome. Well, we're getting close to the end of the interview here. So, tell us, where to find your products and what you have for sale. Go over kind of the offering.
I have on my website, it's www.themetalist.de for Germany. You can buy there the hammer and the axe. You can pre-order them. You can order them with a different coating or with a different handle. And it will ship out on the end of October, beginning of November, worldwide.
Awesome.
And over my YouTube channel, you can also buy the drawings for my builds, like for my
For the
projects.
builds.
Not of all of them, but most of them.
And then what about the sizes of the hammer? Even in the pictures, I see that there's shorter ones, longer ones, or is the axe long and the hammer short?
The hammer is about 28 centimeters, and that's all the same length. They just have different kinds of handles, or the
Mhm.
coating is different. And the axe is, I have to lie, I think it's about almost 50 centimeters. And I had some specialist or he's a really low knowledge about axes, and he actually
Mhm.
said it's too short for an axe and too long for hatches.
So right in the
Something in
middle.
between. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something in between. You can do like small things, and you can also hit the big things. And
Awesome. And then, what's in the immediate future for you? You're happy with your job, you got this projects coming up off the ground. Is there you're coming to Canada in a couple weeks to visit. For the people that are listening to this episode, I think this episode won't get released until early September. So I think you might still be here or you'll be back in
uh,
Germany.
no, I'm flying home on the 30th. Just for because we want to go to two birthday parties, and we fly home end of August. And yeah, because I want to go to Schweiß and Schneiden in September. The big welding competition, not competition, competition called
No,
in
where?
Germany.
No, I don't
Schweiß and
know about
Schneiden
it.
in Essen. I think it's the biggest worldwide. Even
Oh,
bigger like FarbTech, and it's every 4 years, I think.
is that this year coming up?
Yes,
Oh,
it's from the 11th to 15th of September. I will be there the whole week for some.
oh man, I didn't know about it, and that's the exact same time as FabTech.
Yeah, that's so because I always wanted to go to FarbTech. Actually, our main plan was actually last year that we will premiere the hammer and the axe on FarbTech last year. That was actually the main plan, but it took
Hmm.
a little bit longer, and then we just decided to start with the Kickstarter campaign. And then I said, all right, I will go this year. But then I find out it's on the same date like Schweiß and Schneid in Essen. But then I find also out next year it will be in Florida.
Yep, it's in Florida, FabTech. Yep, and you have
Yeah.
family there, right?
Not in Florida, but I
Oh,
would have
okay.
like a place to stay. Or even the place, it will be in Orlando, I
Yeah.
think. And I don't know somebody up there, but we actually built 2 or 3 roller coasters the last couple of years in Orlando, and I wanted to go to ride them, and maybe I
Oh,
can just make the trip like with a small connection. I have like go 1 week to FarbTech, and the other weeks go to the theme parks.
yeah, that sounds fun. And you got to come to Canada. We do a Fab Tech in Canada every second
Toronto.
year in
Yes,
Toronto. So
Toronto.
we're already planning for next year. It'll be in June next year. And then we do our CanWeld, right? And we do our own Canadian conference. This year is October, so in Moncton, New Brunswick. So, we would love to have you at any of those if you ever want to come and talk and maybe present or even have a booth or something. But if you ever want to work with the Canadians, we have our own conferences too.
That would be awesome because my uncle is living in Toronto. I have a place to stay, and I will plan that. I will keep your words. I will come to there.
Yeah, it'll be fun because we already started planning. And for the people that are listening, we're already planning CanWeld next year with FabTech in Toronto. Okay. So it's already happening, and it's going to be lots of fun.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right, last question before we got to go here, and let you get your shout outs out. But your career has been all over the world, all sorts of different things. You're working on different products, you different types of welding, and then now with management, supervising, and that kind of stuff. If you could go back to the beginning and choose specifically the job that you enjoyed the most, that has brought you the most satisfaction, 18 years old, what advice would you give yourself?
That's a hard question. Find that what you really enjoy and then do that. Don't try to go somewhere else because there will be $5 more or so. Because on the end, it's not about the money; it's about the passion and the love what you have for your trade.
Mm-hmm. That's very good advice because you know what? Sometimes, even in my career, I took a job for less money because I knew it would advance me forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have friends who have been chasing money their whole career, but they're doing the same job today that they did 25 years ago. So even though they have so much money, they're not happy.
Exactly. Yeah. Trying to find something what makes you happy. That's the most important thing in life. Perfect. And otherwise, it's same like same like with YouTube. I was starting with YouTube because I wanted to do it, and later on, just the money came. I don't was looking for that, because I really enjoyed it to do that, and the money was just a bonus for me. And just do what you really enjoy, and don't try to be somewhere somebody else, or try to pretend you to be somewhere. Mm-hmm. That's I think the most important thing, to be honest to yourself.
That's great advice. So any shout outs, anything you want to say to anybody, any hellos or thank yous?
I would like to thank all the people from my team. It's Björn Fred, Flo, and Eva, and Teresa. She's helping me also with social media at the moment. And all the influencers who helped me with the campaign to make my dream come true. And yes, I'm really looking forward for new projects. And yes.
Awesome.
And for sure, I will say hello to my wife. But she will be not listen to the podcast anyway. That's why it will be fine.
That's fine. My wife doesn't listen to my podcast at all either. So that's perfect. Well, thank you very much, Dirk, for being on the show. It's been fantastic. For all the people that are interested in his products, themetalist.de. He's the Metalist on Instagram, on YouTube. He's out there. And hopefully we'll have him at FabTech CanWeld next year in Toronto, because I'd love to show him and introduce him to all the wonderful, industry family that we have here. So many wonderful people that are in the industry. I really appreciated you taking the time today to be on the show, Dirk.
Perfect. My pleasure. And I'm looking forward.
Awesome. And for all the people that have been following along, make sure you keep downloading and sharing the shows. The podcast is doing very well. The skills series that we released has been doing exceptionally well, well enough that we might start doing more special series like that. on top of these weekly shows. Even I don't know when I'm going to find the time to do it, but the people liked it, so we're going to try to figure it out. But we're also trying to figure out how to get more comments and feedback from everybody. So if you're not aware, we have a generic email, info@cwbassociation.org. Send us messages on the socials, comment on the posts, on the YouTubes, and on the downloads. We want to know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, or any suggestions you have for the show. We really appreciate people following along. And of course, sign up for your free membership with the CWB Association. We're the best professional association in the world, and we're the only one that's free. So, take advantage of what Canada offers with our wonderful programs and what the Canadian Welding Bureau offers you. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next episode.
We hope you enjoyed the show.